Well, folks, I have something that came in the mail. If you've been watching my videos, you'd be knowing that I'm not real happy with the seat comfort on the Sunseeker Fat Tad. And I'm going to show you why. I actually did the measurements against my Terra Trike Charge and measured the seat on the Sunseeker. The Terra Trike Charge is way more comfortable than the Sunseeker Fat Tad. Funny thing is, I kept saying the distance between here to here was shorter than on my Terra Trike, but that's not true. I measured it. Everything's almost exactly the same. Why is this seat more comfortable? Why is this seat more comfortable than this seat? Why is it? I think I figured it out. If you look at the two seats, let's look at these seats and compare them. This seat reclines more. This seat comes down, and look at this, is important right here. This is create what we'll call a bucket. Put your butt in the bucket. Okay? This is on the Terra Trike. There's a bucket. It's like a bucket seat on a car. And it goes out flat at the very end right here. Look at it. It's got a bucket. Okay? Over here on the Fat Tad, straight. Almost perfectly straight. No bucket. What we have is a bench. Like on a 1947 pickup bench seat that's flat, slick. That is a bench seat, padded bench seat. This is a bucket. So, Sunseeker, you need to go do some R&D and figure out why you would want a bench seat on an off-road vehicle. Bucket. You need a bucket to keep your butt in. You need to hold your bucket full of butt. This seat is slippery when you're off-road. You can't stay back in the seat if it's rough terrain. Even on smooth terrain, it kind of gets... I'm pushing myself back constantly. Not on this seat, because it has a bucket. Okay. So I ordered a wedge from Terra Trike, no less. So let's put this bad boy on. So it needs to go up in here, right in here. So let's do that. Yes, we're going to have to put this in here. So you lift this up and you insert this inside there. So what this does, shove it in there, get it where it won't come out. So guess what we just created by putting that wedge in there. It's lift the front of this seat up, the width of that wedge, on top of the padding it already had, creating a bucket to keep my butt from sliding forward. So now it's time to go test ride this bad boy to see if the new increased bucket will hold my butt in the seat. And I think it's going to, because that's the way buckets work. Hold a bunch of butt in the bucket. Because what I need is more bucket. Because my butt needs more bucket. So anyway, so what's funny, the whole time I've been riding that seat over there, I thought this one's way more comfortable. Why? So I measured the distance from here to the back of my butt. I measured the seat up here. I measured the width in all directions is almost identical. The only difference is the way they built this, creating this cradle to hold your rump. They just, Sunseeker needs to build them something similar to this. It goes out and then it's just like in a car, like in a really good sports car. This is what I bought. Comes in two widths, wide and regular. I got the regular, and this dude cost $19.95 from the Hostile Shop. That's who I do a lot of shopping with. Let's go for a ride and see how this thing feels. What I need is more bucket. I need more bucket for my butt. And I've created a wedge in my seat to perform the function of a bucket. So let's go for a ride in the bucket. All right, let's start this bad boy up and go for it. It already feels better. My butt, it's raised up a little bit. I like it already. I haven't even ridden in it yet. Let's start this bad boy up. I'm already liking it. It already feels better. Just left the garage. Oh yeah. Feels wonderful. So I'm gonna like this, I can already tell you. It's eliminating the problem I didn't like. I didn't like that flat seat. I didn't like the feel of that. But I complained from the minute I got it. And I'm not a complainer. But I like comfort, especially off-road. And you know, if I wouldn't have had a Terra Trike first, I wouldn't have known any better if I'd never rode a bike. So I followed the Southern Tracker, that old boy out there in Arkansas, that big old boy. He rides those, I think he rides an ice. I'm watching a lot of his videos. Boy, the seat he's got on his rig. And Mickey at Laid Bike Cycles, he has an ice, or he used to. He's always switching because he owns a dealership. Why didn't I think of that? Anyway, Mickey at Laid Bike Cycles, I think he had an ice. And man, those seats on those things, they're comfort seats. Whew. Nice seats. Guess that's what you get when you pay for a high-end trike. Now that Terra Trike just has a mesh seat on it, but you saw how it had that arch in the bottom, creating that little area for your rump to sit in. And that's what this was lacking. And that wedge that I bought from Terra Trike, actually bought it from Hostile Shops, but it's a Terra Trike brand. It was only 20 bucks, $19.95 plus shipping. It makes all the difference in the world. Now this foam that is on this wedge is close sale, so it's not going to take moisture if you get water down on it or you sweat on it. It's going to resist that, which I like. Stay reclined in my my seat. It's not putting any pressure on my rump that I don't like the way it feels. It's soft. It's not real soft. It's firm, but you know what I mean. It's like a car seat. Sounds like I need to set my reed derailleur. It sounds a little noisy. Hello, puppies. Howdy, puppies. Good morning. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful ride. It's beautiful down here in New Mexico right now. I am really enjoying this weather. It got into the 80s already, and it's February. It's February, and it got out of the 30s and shot right up to the 80s, like in a week. So I'm gonna head over to somewhere off-road, find an off-road trail that I can see how this seat. That's basically where I really needed it for, was off-road. Remember, if you watched where I went in the Chihuahuan Desert, and my first real off-road trek on my Sunseeker Tad, I went on 2 miles of sugar sand and was talking to you all about that I got going a little too fast on this rig, and it got uncomfortable, and I kind of got my legs up in the air and my butt come up out of the seat, and my legs slid forward. It was rough, and my butt slid forward in the seat, causing my feet to come up out of the straps. So my feet are up in the air, and I'm doing about 20 miles an hour across the desert like a dummy. And slow down, Smitty, you crazy monkey. You're gonna kill yourself on this out here in the desert, and the coyotes are gonna eat you out here, and nobody will find you except your bones somewhere, and your trike sitting out there in the desert. So I really started thinking about this seat, because if I could have kept my butt where it belonged a little longer, I think I would have managed myself a little better. So I got online, and I had seen Mickey at Laid Back Cycles talk about this wedge in the past. He had a guest Terra Trike dealer come on and show all the different stuff they sell for Terra Trikes. Of course, that's what my first trike was, so I was watching a lot of Terra Trike stuff, and pulling a hill. I knew about that wedge, but didn't remember it until I started really having a problem with this seat. And I said, wait, I wonder if that'll work. So I started measuring that Terra Trike seat, and I had always just thought this Sunseeker seat was a lot shorter because it felt that way, but it was because of that, like I say, the bucket. This seat doesn't have a bucket, so it feels like it's shorter. Now that I got the wedge in there, it feels almost like the Terra Trike. Now, another thing about this Sunseeker, it doesn't recline as much as my Terra Trike. A Terra Trike's got a few more degrees of lean on it, and that makes a difference on how your weight, you know, how you feel in it, how you carry your head and how you carry your back and how you push. I feel like if you're reclined a little more, it's easier to push. I feel like like you go to the gym and you do those leg presses. You're at a reclined because you're stronger that way. I'm making all this up as I go. Just the way I feel, right? So, hell, maybe I'm not making it up. Maybe that's my reality. Maybe it's not yours. Maybe it's mine. My reality. I'm gonna put you on warp drive, and we'll get out there to the Chihuahuan Desert, Las Cruces, New Mexico, and see how she does in the deserts with my wedge and my newly formed bucket. Ha! Bucket. It's already much better. Seat's way more comfortable, folks. Night and day, night and day. The seat's night and day. All you need is a wedge. It's easier to ride off-road with the wedge installed because it's keeping my rump back where it belongs in this rough terrain. It's pretty rough out here. I'm on a pretty good side incline. Some big boulders out here. What I needed just to help me retain my position and not be pushing back in the seat all the time. It didn't ruin the ride, but it was uncomfortable. A little rough out here. Keep picking up rocks on my fenders. Even these big fenders pick up rocks. It's pretty rough up here too. Howdy. How you doing?
Good.
Well, that's about way improved. Way improved. Good ride. Way better ride. Way more relaxed. Way more comfortable. My butt's staying where it belongs. I have not moved back in my seat one time. And you've seen pretty rough crap coming up in here. I love that noise. Between my seat and my sun top, I don't know if you noticed that front wheel came off the ground. So another reason you want to stay in the bucket is you need to be able to shift your weight to the right wheel comes off the ground on the front. You need to lean into the right. If your butt is out of position or you know, not. How you doing? Gravel rider just went by. Those guys get after it, man. And a lot of old people do that gravel riding down here. Older than me. Good for them. They're in good shape, man. Wish I'd have started triking a lot earlier. I didn't know about it. Nobody talked to me about it. I was actually looking at velomobiles. That's what I wanted, was a velomobile. Because I figured I could ride that a year round. But then I started looking at how much they cost. I was like, what? They started, I don't know, 10 grand is probably a cheaper one. I mean, they're beautiful rigs, but anyway. And then I looked how they were constructed, and they were constructed on it. Most of them are tadpoles. There's a few quads that I've seen, one or two, but most of them are tadpoles like this. And then I said, tadpole, cool. That makes sense. It's more efficient. It's a cool rig. Anyway, I wasn't going to spend that much money right out of the gate. I didn't even know if I'd like doing it. I thought I might. I'm going to go through this gully and then we'll pick up our conversation. Now this is a lot steeper than it looks, and it's a lot rougher than it looks, because this GoPro, they don't do justice. This thing eats it up. It eats it up. I'm learning how to ride this, and I'll tell you, this seat, this wedge made it a lot better. Anyway, I was looking at the tadpoles and recumbent trikes, and wow, whole world opened up to me. And then I said, wow, those are expensive too. They're as much as the Velomobiles. I'm not sure why. Anyway, I'm not sure why they're as expensive as they are. I get it for the Velomobiles. They're hand-laid carbon fiber. There is way more work in a high-end Velomobile than there is in any recumbent trike out there. If you look at the Velomobile world, that guy from Romania, look at the stuff he sells. That is some artistry. That is a work of art. And he's charging even less than some of the recumbent trikes. So like I've said, Velomobile world, the guy out of Romania builds some beautiful, that is a work of art. That guy, I appreciate. I'm an old street rodder, builder, hot rodder. I worked in a hot rod shop in Albuquerque at Route 66 Rod and Custom for a while. I built many rigs, many cars over the years. I appreciate craftsmanship. That stuff makes my mouth water. That carbon fiber laid Velomobiles with all their carbon fiber rigidity, and anyway, if you look at a high-end Aza, they're over the cost of his high-end Velomobiles. If you look at Cat and Ice, some of their stuff gets up there. Not like some of the other ones, but I mean, that's good for the rich guys, but you know, working class boys, we're gonna have a hard time swallowing 10, 12, 13, 14, $15,000 for a trike. I don't know. You know why they cost that much? Because people buy them. That's why a pickup costs $100,000. I keep telling everybody, if you want the price of a pickup to come down, quit buying the damn thing. There ain't no way I'd give you $100,000. I don't care if it's made out of, the block's made out of gold. No way. Ain't gonna do it. I know I'm getting old and old crotchety, but with age comes wisdom. There's a new trail I just spotted. Look at this. I'm out in the desert. She's eating it up. When I need to get a little oomph on it, I just hit the throttle. And then I pedal the rest of the time. I couldn't do this without e-assist out here. So all this e-assist does is get me out here. Help me not be afraid to go on a little road trip out here on gravel and out in this trail in the middle of the desert. So I'm up east of the golf course. I think the driving range is over there somewhere. I don't think it's going to climb this. Well, I think it's going to climb this. Holy mackerel! I got to take a break. Anyway. Anyway, I got a little worried about my heart not working right. Or it would fail on me out here, and it scared me. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I probably could physically do it because I'm strong. I've been working out. I've been riding these trikes for 6 months straight, 10, 15, 20 miles a day, almost daily. I'm addicted to it. And I feel good, my heart, my blood's running. And folks, you veterans out there that got a little post-traumatic stress disorder, a little stress in your family, a little bit of anxiety, or a lot, you got to try this thing. You got to try it. I got a gravel bike rider coming up the trail behind me. Got to get it out of the way. Howdy.
Good. You all right?
Yeah, I'm just resting.
Okay, bud. Have a good one.
You too. Be careful.
Yeah, you too.
That gravel riding right there is the most popular thing in New Mexico down here. They got over 400 miles of trails out here. I can't take this trike on those trails because you see how they're smaller and they're traversing. I'll roll this thing. Plus, I don't think I'm allowed to ride an e-assist on those trails over there. A lot of them are shut down to e-assist, even disabled people like me. Good for him. Anyway, I got the e-assist because I was afraid to ride without it. And now that I've been riding, I could have probably done without it. But not out here. There's no way I can climb some of these hills. I'd get a false start and, you know, need to come up out of a little gully and I just wouldn't be able to power through it. Then it really probably would have pushed my heart too hard. Anyway, folks, thank you for coming along with me today. That wedge in my seat is a game changer. It keeps me positioned correctly in the seat. When you're off-road traversing like this, going through these trails, you need to keep your butt in the bucket. Sunseeker, go put a bucket in your seat. You will create a superior seat for your price-leading superior off-road fat tad. Just because you're a cheaper trike doesn't mean you can't. That won't cost you anything to fix that. Just put another bend in your seat, or sell them with wedges. Or guys, go buy it and put a wedge in like I did. I'm gonna try the wide body wedge. All it did was pick this up and create this bucket right here, and that's what you need. Anyway, I figured it out for y'all. What a ride today. I gotta get back. Me and the wife are gonna go to lunch. It's getting warm. It's getting close to noon. The great southwest New Mexico. Like and subscribe. But I find a lot of guys like me out making real content that matters to people. And that wedge and this sun top and the other mods I make, they're pretty cool and they help. Anyway, have a nice day.